What's up, sports bettors? Lines are on the move. You can see on BetRivers Sportsbook in a day with tons of college basketball. You can see right here we have lines moving in Dartmouth versus Quinnipiac. Kind of random game, but hey, we follow the value. As a sharp bettor, I don't really care if I'm betting on the most popular game tonight, Duke, Kansas, or Dartmouth, Quinnipiac. I follow the money, right? And to follow the money, to make the money, you have to understand the market, right? You have to follow the line movements. So OddsJam is kind of like a Bloomberg terminal. It shows you line movements, it shows you value, it processes the millions of odds kind of across sports books to try to show you and give you tools to help you zone in on those few profitable betting opportunities. You know, I say this all the time, but this is one game. We have Binghamton versus Maryland, right? There's all these markets you can bet on the sports books. There's tons of games. And this is just one sport. You're not going to be able to just hunt around manually and find value, right? You have to do it using software, and there's a bunch of ways to do that, but OddsJam makes it really easy to kind of scan games, see where you're getting the best possible line. So here I know on Binghamton, the best money line odds are plus 1,600 on Caesars, at least for my location. Every sportsbook has different locations, so if I switch around states, you'll see here, hey, Caesar's still giving me plus 1,600. And as a sharp bettor, we use all of this market information, right? We use all of this data, all of these odds to try to make better bets, make more informed betting decisions, right? Look for value. The way that sportsbooks make money is they're car dealers. They charge the vig, they charge the juice. So it's your job as a sharp bettor to beat the vig, beat the juice. So I'll give you an example of the first play I locked in for $1,100, which I believe was the max I could. Right here, under 152 points in Queens versus LaSalle. And again, you may say, hey, that's such a random game. Why don't you focus on Duke, Kansas? And again, I'm following the value. I'm following where the money is. So the positive EV tool is pretty simple. All it does is take all these odds on sportsbooks and point out big discrepancies, right? Big enough discrepancies where you actually have a positive profit margin and are beating the vig, beating the juice. So usually the sports books have the advantage on you, right? They charge the vig, they charge a spread. They're like a car dealer. I'll buy this car for $10,000, I'll sell it for $15,000. Sports books are car dealers. They charge a spread. That's called the vig. But because sports books have different odds, which you can see right here, right? There are different odds from book to book. Frickin' Bet99 is giving you plus 800, half the odds of Caesars on the exact same asset, the exact same team to win. Right? This is the same bet. Binghamton, you want to bet 100 to win 800 or 100 to win 1.6K? Because that's the difference between placing your bet on Bet99 versus Caesars. All these bookies have different odds. They want to be unique. So what you want to do as a sharp bettor, right, is scan the market, scan through all these odds, and hunt for those, you can see here, all of these plays are below, 1% profit margin. So you can see above 1% profit margin, there's only 8 bets, right? Out of the millions of odds on sportsbooks, there are only 8 bets at this current point in time. The market's always moving. We saw a line movement at the start of this video. At the current point in time, this is the most profitable college basketball bet, right? So you may be like, well, why is this good? So we can click into the odds, and what you're going to notice is, hey, WinBet, they're setting the OU at 152 right here, right? Now, most sports books have it at 151 or even 150. What you'll see here is PointsBet, they're setting their line 2 points lower at 150. DraftKings and FanDuel, 1 or 1.5 points lower. So we're thinking like a trader, like an investor. We're looking for value, right? And today the value's in college basketball. Tomorrow it may not be. It may be in the NFL, early lines. As a sharp bettor, I don't go into the day and say, I want to bet on Duke, Kansas. That's all I care about. I say there's tons of games, there's tons of sports. I want to look for bets where I'm beating the vig, beating the juice. No bet is a lock. Every bet has a risk. I want to find plays with a positive expected profit margin where I actually have the edge over the bookie. And this is play number 1. So why do we like it? Well, first of all, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other sports books all pricing this minus 125 to minus 135, right? So it's pretty clear the under should be favored. The under is favored on stake. The under is heavily favored on Pinnacle. This is the sharpest sportsbook in the world, the most efficient betting market. And DraftKings and 10bet have this minus 125. So again, there's never perfect answers, but it's pretty clear there's good value at minus 110, considering you have all these bookies pricing this minus 125. Now, a lot of other sports books, they're not even offering a line on over under 152 because their lines are at 150 half or 150. You know, Bet Online, a really sharp sports book, they have the under 150 points juiced, right? They have the under 150 at minus 115. We're getting the under 152 at minus 110. So kind of looking across the entire market, it becomes very, very clear. Ooh, Russia unleashes missiles. That minus 110 is a great price that we want to be on top of. So I hit it. Use all the data in the market to make more informed betting decisions. All these sportsbooks are independent data points telling you where the line should be set. So it's your job to hunt around, right? Constantly. This market is always moving. You're a trader. You're a day trader. And look for value. Find it, right? That's your job. And this is a play we want to be on. Really profitable. So next play I went with. Second play, I also bet this, Green Bay Packers, but that's not relevant to this video. So that's that. But under 150 in Marquette, Purdue. So let's take a look at this play. Once again, we're data. We're focused on the data. Bet Online, they have their line, Sharp Offshore Sportsbook, they have their line a point lower. Bet Rivers, minus 134, minus 137, minus 125 on Pinnacle. DraftKings setting their line at 148, 2 points lower. We're using all this data in the market to be like, yeah, WinBet's asleep at the wheel. This under is an absolute hammer. You know, and again, if you don't care about the math, that's fine. If you don't care about studying the data, that's fine. The positive EV tool, just place the bet in bold with a circle around it. I mean, it really is that simple. This is by far the best tool on OddsJam if you want to make some frickin' money. You hit the bet in bold with a circle around it, and you get used to variance. So I say this all the time, but like, sync your sports books with OddsJam, which you can now do, because this is just fact, right? Like, syncing your sports books is just fact. So this is, you know, all my sports books. So WinBet, it's a different app for every state. You know, so WinBet New York is different than WinBet Arizona. So if we look at WinBet New York, you can see right here my balance is $12.95.24. I have these two open plays, Queens NC at LaSalle under 152 and Marquette Purdue under 150. Both plays I'm going to ride with you guys on. And again, I also say this all the time, but any plays I give out, I'm obviously, you know, I bet them as well myself. I ride with you. I'm literally just showing you what I bet. If I'm showing you a bet, I bet it. And that's kind of that. So some people ask me some days, why don't you have college basketball plays? Well, because I didn't find a good college basketball bet. It's pretty simple. So hopefully, you know, that's helpful, or some comfort knowing I'm betting them as well. I'm not just one of those guys who's like, you guys should all bet this. Like, I'm riding with you. But what you're going to notice is when you do the sync sportsbooks thing on OddsJam, is you can sync all of your bookmaker accounts and it will show you your profit and loss. So here we can see, you know, so if we refresh all accounts, what it's going to do is it will update, you know, your balance. Anyways, it's going to send me a one-time code, whatever. But long story short, if you go to bets, it's getting way too complicated. After syncing your sports books, what's cool is it will show you, hey, you bet this, right? I bet the Packers first half money line at minus 140 for $500 on Caesars. They automatically pulled that in and are showing me, hey, you bet this, right? I played the Trailblazers minus 6 for $900, then $1,300. It says automatically synced. And you'll notice, well, now I got to log back in. But you'll notice that is a bet I placed as well. So I think you have to like refresh. So let me go and let's go back here. Let's go to dashboard. Let's go to sync sportsbooks. And then, but long story short, what's cool about this is it will show you very accurately. It'll just spit the data back at you, your profit and loss. Sync your sportsbooks, you see your actual profit and loss. And what you'll notice is there's some brutal variance. You know, week 18, if I go to just last year, and you're going to see we lost this entire month. We had 4 straight losing weeks, right? Just because you have a coin that has an edge, right? Just because your play has an edge does not mean, that that bet is guaranteed to win. There's no such thing as a lock. Every sports bettor, the best sports bettors, the worst sports bettors, all go through losing streaks. You can see we lost 16.5K here in you get the point. But long story short, the losing streaks can be pretty brutal. But in here you can see the bet sinking. $1,100 Queens, and then we have the Marquette one automatically synced. So it's cool, right? Because it will automatically sync your bets, and then it will tell you your profit and loss, and it's accurate, right? This is literally just bets that you're placing in your accounts. You don't have to do anything, and it's going to tell you your profit and loss, your pending bets, as well as your ROI. So the final play I went with, and again, the whole reason I'm showing you this is just to prove the point. It's really that simple. All I do, all people using OddsJam do, for the most part, is just you place this bet in bold with a circle around it. So Falcons, -1.5, -110. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat, find a profitable bet, but it doesn't matter if you're betting on WinBet or FanDuel. Don't overcomplicate it. It doesn't matter if you're betting on college football, Chinese basketball, the NBA. You're looking for value to beat the VIG. Vegas doesn't know anything. There's no inside information that people have access to that you're going to win on, right? Just follow the data. Here we have all these sports books charging -124. You're getting -110. You found a soft spot on a sports book, a value bet, a bet with a positive expected return. So I bet it, right? 275 to win 250. So my 3 plays, taking the profit margin, so here it was 1.12, multiply it by your stake, 28.37 in profit margin. And if you don't understand why that's so crazy, that we have a college basketball bet with a 2% profit margin, you got to remember this game is today. We're earning a 2% return on capital in a day. Think about what that compounds to in a month, in a year, right? It's pretty crazy. If you can earn 2% a day, every single day, and again, sports betting is not scalable. It's not like you can bet $10 million on every play you want to get down. It's not how it works. But still, 2% profit margin on a couple $1,000, that compounds quickly. That's how you actually can make a lot of money sports betting, as OddsJam customers do. So we can see if this resynced and got the balances right. So it looks like it did. So then if I go back here and I go to bets, what you'll see is it just pulls in your bets. So I recommend, even if you don't use OddsJam, it is useful to do, just because a lot of people, they tell you, yeah, I make money sports betting. We get a lot of people who say that, and it's well, prove it over 10,000 bets over a year. Just because you won 5 bets in a row, you could have a coin that's 20% to show up on, your side. It could show up on your side 5 times in a row. You got to prove it over a large sample size. So I just linked a few sports books. You can see Caesars is not profitable for me, at least for the states I synced. Again, it's complicated if you've lived different places, because every location you have to sync a new sports book, right? Caesars New York is different than Caesars Arizona. They're different apps, different websites, different domains. Same with WinBet. So 2 college basketball plays. Let's make some money.